Hey, what's up, coaches? Thanks for joining me today. I'm Coach Besaw from SpreadOffenseFootball.com, and this digital clinic is with Coach Aaron Pflugrad out of Northern Arizona University. He's the quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator at NAU. And this clinic, Coach Pflugrad talks about two different pass concepts that he likes and that he uses frequently in his offense. And they're mesh concepts with some shallow cross and really good against man, also some zone beaters as well. Now, unfortunately, I'm a freaking idiot, and I didn't record the meeting right away when we were on Zoom. So I'm going to go over the first concept with you guys, kind of catch you guys up to speed on what we missed because I didn't hit record. And then I'll let Coach Pflugrad take it from there, and you'll see a little bit of the tail end of the first concept, and then you'll see all of the second concept that he talks about. Okay, the first concept that Coach Pflugrad went over comes out of 3x1, and this is a field mesh, and this works great against man coverage. Also, it has some elements to beat the zone as well. And so I'll just go over the routes with you and then actually go over some of the pass protection with you. So if we'll just work from the outside, we're going to be balls on the right hash. So this is designed to go to the field. So we set our three receivers, in this case, we're 11 personnel, so two receivers and a tight end, to the field. You can do this out of 10 personnel, and you can have him split out just a little bit. But for this case, we'll leave him as the tight end there. So the first route here is going to come from the outside, and X is going to be running a post, and it's going to be ran at 13 yards, and we want to really skinny that up to try to get over the top of the corner. This ball, if it goes to X, then he should be catching the ball on the hash. He really shouldn't be getting anywhere near the middle of the field, trying to get on top of that safety. He needs to be keeping his width and keep that post skinny and catch that football on the hash if he does get it. It's about a 45 yard throw for the quarterback, and this right here is alert for the quarterback. So if the quarterback gets to the ball, he gets a pre-snap read, corner down. If the corner's down and safety's down, or he's not shaded to the field as much, then that might alert the quarterback that on his third step, he can let it rip and throw the post over the top. And again, that ball would be caught at the hash about 45 yards down the field. The second route comes from A, and A is going to run a rail route, and probably adjust these splits a little bit here. But A is going to run a rail route, and the importance of this route here is that A gets vertical at the beginning of his route. This is not like a wheel route where right away he's going to bend it to the outside. We want him to press this overhang defender, and we want him to attack vertically, and then we want him to start bending it to the outside, probably around 7 steps. And what we're hoping for is that we get kind of a natural rub action with the number one receiver. So at this 13 yards here, as the X gets over the top on the post, we want our A coming right underneath it, and we want to get to the top of the numbers to the bottom of the numbers from there. The reason being is because this route concept is great versus man, right? So if they're going to play man on the outside, then we want to kind of create a natural pick action for A on the rail concept. Again, the X was an alert, right? So if the quarterback gets to the line of scrimmage and he sees that the X is not open, or he doesn't like what he sees out there, he doesn't think he can get over the top, then his second read in this progression is going to be the rail concept. So I'm going to put A up here for alert. That way you know that that's a pre-snap read. Kind of take a shot if you have it. If you don't have it, then you come to A on the rail concept. And if we get a good pick here with this concept here, and we get this overhang defender in a trail technique, and our A has outside leverage and over the top, then we can hitch and throw the ball to A on the outside pad over the top of the defender. The other adjustment that quarterback might make, and the type of throw that he would have to make, is if the overhang defender sees man and sees this kind of switch concept, and he plays over the top of this thing, and now he has leverage on top of our A, then this might be one where we throw a hard back shoulder ball to our A on the outside here. Doesn't always have to be over the top. doesn't always have to lead him, and he doesn't always have to catch it in stride. But we really are looking and identifying what position this overhang defender's in. And like I said, if he's in a trail technique, then we want to throw it over the top and let him go get it. If he adjusts and plays over the top of the route, then the ball might come out a little bit sooner from the quarterback, and it might be something on a line like a one ball to his back shoulder. So that's the first two routes of this concept. And then we'll get the running back here. We're setting the running back to the field as well because he's going to be coming out from the back, and we're going to use him, and he's going to pretty much run what we'd call an arrow route, I guess you will. And we want him catching that football, if he does catch it, right at the line of scrimmage. And so he's going to take off right away. He's going to get width, and as soon as he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's going to turn his head around, and he's going to expect the football early if he gets it. If they bring pass rush, if they blitz, then tailback can expect to get that football right away because we're going to have 5 guys to block. If they bring more than 5, we don't have enough in the protection, so the quarterback's going to have to get rid of the football. So first thing here is we're looking alert, and then here's our second read in the progression, and then this is our third read in the progression. And then the mesh point comes from the tight end and the Z. And to start with our splits, we want the Z, the single receiver. He's got to be at least have a 6-yard split from the right tackle here. Anything farther than that, then we're not going to be able to get a solid mesh, and he's never going to show up in the quarterback's vision working to get to the other side of the field. So we want him at a 6-yard split, and then we're going to have our tight end set the mesh. So he's going to set the mesh. We want him getting at about 3 yards, no more than 3 yards. And he's going to sit on the other side of the tackle box. So he's going to sit right here, okay? So he cannot be any more than 3 yards. And then Z, at the snap of the ball, he's going to attack the heels of the defensive lineman where they start at. So we want him coming shallow, we want him coming underneath, and we want him getting on top of the heels of the defensive line. And then Coach Pflugrad talked about stair-stepping this thing. So as you attack the heels of the defensive line, then we want to get vertical for a little bit. Oh, that's too much. We want to get vertical for just a little bit. That way we get a really solid mesh point with our Y, and then we want to be able to get across to the other side of the field. Now, at this mesh point, the reason why we're attacking the heels of the defense and then kind of stair-stepping this thing is that if they're in man coverage, we want him riding right on that hip, and we want to stair-step this and get vertical so that this corner here rubs shoulders with that tight end, and we get that natural pick from our tight end in the mesh concept. The issue that can happen here is if the Z doesn't do a very good job and the Y doesn't do a good job of setting the mesh and there's a big gap, then we're really not getting any of that action, and we're going to allow that defense to be able to run with us. So again, we want that solid mesh here, no more than 3 yards for the tight end, and then Z is going to come underneath it, stair step it, and like Coach Pflugrad said, we want that Z kind of scraping paint with the tight end. They should be shoulder to shoulder and scraping paint as they run through. And then Z is going to continue on his path here. You don't see it in the clips that Coach Pflugrad showed because, like I said, I'm an idiot and I forgot to hit record. But a lot of teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, Arizona State Sun Devils, a lot of the teams have these two guys as they're connecting at the mesh point. They'll even extend their hand and slap hands as they go to make sure that they're connected. Okay, so the read for the quarterbacks, again, going back to this concept from the very beginning, as he gets to the line of scrimmage, he gets this look here. He's going to take a look to the field and see where corner and maybe where this field safety is. And if he feels like his guy has the burners to be able to get on top and run that post route, then he's going to take 3 steps and he's going to throw the post as his alert. If he doesn't like that, then post snap, he's going to look for A on the rail route. He'll take 3 steps, and then he can hitch, or on his 3rd step, he can throw the ball to A, depending on the leverage that we have on this defender here out in the flat. If the rail concept isn't there and they play that or they switch it, and it's just not open, then the quarterback can come down to either the running back here as his 3rd option, or he can come here to Z on as his 3rd or 4th option too. One thing to look for is that if this overhang doesn't chase the A, then really what's great about this concept is this running back getting width really widens him and stretches him horizontally, which opens up this nice big window for Z coming across on his shallow route. So again, these two options are all great options. And this is going to be hit probably right away. The quarterback's going to know that he has leverage and he's going to hit him right away. If he doesn't, then he's looking at how is this defender playing this horizontally? Is he sitting here in the window? And then if so, we're going to dump it to the running back who's stretching the field. Or is he widening and getting width and playing with the running back? Then that really opens us up for Z coming across on the shallow. And again, we don't want him settling down anywhere in here. We want him keep running to grass, keep showing up for the quarterback, and make sure that the quarterback sees him in his line of vision. So in summary, that's pretty much the first concept that Coach Pflugrad talked about. You'll also see some stuff out of 20 personnel towards the tail end of the first clip. First concept. So I'm going to show you exactly what kind of that looks like, how they run this concept out of 20 personnel. Okay, so for the look at a 20 personnel, and really one thing that I forgot to mention is no matter where you start at, so if you're a 20 personnel with two backs in the backfield, or you're in a 2x2 look, is that you have to end up in 3x1. And so there's a lot of ways that you can kind of dress up this play to not give away any tendencies. You don't always want to just start out in 3x1. So you can, like I said, start in 20 personnel or 2x2 and motion to 3x1 to be able to get to this concept. And so that's one of the looks that we saw in the film with Coach Pflugrad, which you're going to see here in a second, is that a lot of teams like Oregon and UCF, they like starting out in 20 personnel and then motioning one of their backs to get to that 3 receiver set to be able to run this concept. So for the receivers out here, for X, it pretty much stays the same. He's going to run that post route. He's still going to run it at 13 yards and then keep that skinny, and his landmark is that hash mark there. And then we're going to use our back out of the backfield to become the number 2 receiver. So this might be one of the deals where we motion Y and we're getting him across, and it could be something where he's running in fast motion, and then at the snap of the ball, he's going to work to get vertical, and then he's bending that rail route to the outside there. And again, we're looking for, if it's man, we want that natural rub action with the post and our back coming underneath that. And then A now, since we're 20 personnel, we're going to use him as the guy that sets the mesh. So he might reduce his splits just a little bit. That way he can get to that other side of the field and set up over the tackle box. And again, same rules apply for him, just as if he was the tight end in the concept. He's going to get to 3 yards, and he's going to get to the other side of the tackle box, and he's going to sit right there. He's kind of like the check down route, the rush route if you do R4, and he's almost like the quarterback's last resort if the concept side, if all 4 options aren't open. So A is going to be set in the mesh here, no more than 3 yards. And then same thing with Z. He's going to attack the heels of the defense. He's going to stair step, scrape paint, and then he's going to work to get across. And then our back here, our second back, is going to have the same responsibilities. He's going to be coming out of the backfield, and he's going to get width right at the line of scrimmage and run that arrow route from the backfield. So same concept. You could call it the same thing terminology-wise. All you're doing is you're starting out in a different position, different personnel package maybe. You're motioning to get to your 3x1 formation, and then you're running the same concept. The reads still apply for the quarterback as if they were the regular 3x1 stuff. So X is still our alert. If he likes it, he's going to throw it on his third step. And the other thing too, I talked about how this had some man beater and then also some zone beater as well. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, is if they are playing some type of zone. So if this is a true quarters look where corner's going to be in that corner, safety's here, and that corner's there, then this is what we're looking for. This is what the quarterback's going to be looking for as far as where he goes with the football underneath the concept where we're attacking vertically. Then he gets his eyes here and he reads this overhang defender. And like I said earlier, if he plays out wide and runs with the tailback, then he opens up that window for us to be able to throw that shallow cross from Z. If he sits here and he occupies this window coming from the shallow, then we're going to throw it to where he's not, and we're going to dump the ball to the running back there. So like I said, it has elements to beat man defense with the rub action, with the mesh point, but it also has elements to beat any type of quarters look or zone defense when we start coming underneath and looking out in the flat with the shallow and the running back running the arrow route. So that's how you can do it at a 20 personnel. And then you're also going to see a little bit of a few clips here after I get into talking about how to pass block at this concept. Coach Pflugrad touched a little bit on the pass protection of this and talked about half sliding. And so really, let's just say, we're going to half slide to the field here. So what that means is from the center on. So if we're going to half slide the field, we have our center, our right guard, and right tackle all working together. And they're going to be responsible for any three of these guys that come on this side of the field. They're going to be responsible for protecting the quarterback. On this side, from our right guard and right tackle, we are going to be man blocking it, if you will. They're going to be big on big with any two defenders that come to their side. So you can see where the quarterback's responsibilities are if we're going to half slide to the field. Like I said, we have these three guys working together, and then we have these two guys picking up any two that come their way. And if we get a true even front, then obviously it's going to be, the defensive tackle and defensive end. And if they're not going to bring any pressure at all with this look here, they have 4 down linemen, they rush 4. Well, we got 5 guys to protect. Obviously, we're covered, and our quarterback can comfortably go through his progression. Now, if they start bringing pressure and we're half sliding to the field, so let's say they decide to bring this linebacker here and they're going to send him on a blitz of some sort, then you can see that they're sending 3 to our side of our our half slide. We have 3 versus their 3. We're still okay because we're be able to pick up these 3 guys with our center, guard, and tackle. And then on the backside, we're still able to pick up this defensive tackle and defensive end. Now, if there were to be pressure from the boundary and we were to keep this protection the same, so now let's say they bring linebacker here. Well, now this is where our quarterback has to understand that he is responsible for that linebacker because our center is half sliding to this side of the field and we're going to be picking up 3 on 2. But on this side, we have 2 on their 3. So our quarterback is responsible for that extra defender that's coming in the pass rush on if they were to rush the boundary when we're half sliding to the field. And so maybe that would alert the quarterback if he sees him creeping early to the line of scrimmage, or he's triggered right away at the snap of the ball, then maybe our quarterback would look to throw that route to the tight end who's sitting right over the tackle box. Or maybe he can work and slide in protection and buy himself enough time to be able to dump it to the running back or be able to hit that shallow cross coming to the other side of the field. But bottom line is the quarterback has to know that he's responsible for this linebacker, and he has to understand that we don't have enough guys to block him. Therefore, he's got to protect himself, and he's got to get the ball out early. Now, another situation, if you want to continue with this protection here where we're half sliding to the field and keeping the man protection on the backside, is if they bring or they overload the field with the blitz. So if they bring linebacker and overhang defender, well, now in this side of the protection, we only have 3 guys versus their 4. So our quarterback has to understand that he is going to be responsible for this overhang defender. Why the overhang defender? Because we want our linemen to pick up interior pressure first as a priority in comparison to someone that's coming off the edge. Obviously, this is if we get interior pressure here, it's faster route to the quarterback, and we want to make sure that we get that covered up. If they overload, like I said, then our quarterback is going to be responsible for here. He will be the unblocked defender, and we beat that pressure by dumping it to the back who's running right past him out on his arrow route, or we buy ourselves enough time and be able to hit the shallow cross that's coming right behind the rush. Okay, so that's how you can protect it. If you want to half slide to the field, it's great for a lot of reasons. Obviously, you're able to pick up more guys on this side. Our quarterback eyes are in this direction. However, if you have an inexperienced quarterback, he may not see this backside linebacker that's coming if he shows late because his eyes are going to be working to this side of the field because that's where the concept is. So if you do have an inexperienced quarterback, you may consider wanting to half slide to the boundary. Probably doesn't happen very often. But if you want to put the responsibility on the quarterback for picking up 1 to 2 off by having this side being the man protection, then you can certainly do that because his eyes will already be set to this side of the field and he should be able to see that pressure come more clearly and he won't be surprised by someone that comes obviously from his backside. So again, just another way that you can protect it: 5 guys in the pass protection, half slide to the field, and man protection on the boundary there. All right, so that was pretty much the first concept that we saw from Coach Pflugrad. And what you're going to see next is the 20 personnel look and how he attacks the defense, basically starting out in a different position, but ending up in that 3-by-1 surface. And then you'll see his second concept that he uses to beat man and zone coverages with some mesh concepts as well. So before we get to Coach Pflugrad, though, make sure you hit subscribe below and then tap the bell right next to it so you can get notified anytime I come out with more videos with the spread offense. And with that, I'll leave it with Coach Pflugrad to take the rest of the clinic.
All right. Possibly we'd be able to pass this thing off. All right. But with bringing 4 to his side right there, we'd be hot. Get the ball out of my hand. Okay, next one here. It's like Civil War clip. Same look at it, all right? Being able to run this out of 20 personnel again, okay? All right, alert, no, okay? This is one where we will potentially throw our rail. Everybody see it, okay? So again, we'd be wider with our post route, okay? But this is potentially take the rail because of the corner's demeanor, all right? Coming in and taking away the post right here. Okay, so potentially being able to throw a back shoulder on our rail. All right, if we say no to 1, number 2 now. Okay, backer adjusts. Okay, takes away the flat and a number 2 in the flat. So now we're getting a number 3, and this receiver should just be staying on the run, and naturally we'll get to him where he can put it in his upfield hand and then knife the defense. Okay. So there's a good look at it right there. Okay, finally work the mesh concept. Again, it's a field mesh. It's the first time we've gotten to our number 3 in the progression. Okay, here's a look, same way they're running it out of their 20 personnel look. Okay, could be an alert. All right, with the low quarter safety. Okay. If not, though, okay, if not, no on the rail, I'm putting the ball in the back right now. We have leverage on this defender. We're getting it to our athletes in space, put it on his upfield hand, allow him to outrun the backer that's chasing him because we have leverage on him. Okay, let's take a look at our mesh. All right, not great on the mesh, okay? Doesn't do a great job of setting it up, okay? So that guy's able to run through. And then here's an example of when I'm going to escape, okay? Step up in the pocket, hit the 4th read in the progression. All right, so again, you can see a lot of these out of 20 personnel, and our thought on it is we're playing a man team, 3rd and 4 to 6. We can give them different looks at it, different ways to run it, okay? And we typically carry either this field mesh or this boundary mesh, what I'm going to show you guys here in a second. We're typically going to carry that into every game, all right, at least one of those, and then just mix up with how we display that to the defense. Okay. All right, here's a look at UCF running it. Same thing, another 20 personnel look. They have quite a few of those ones on here. All right. Okay, again, okay, know the alert with the safety getting depth. Okay, don't love my rail. I'm probably putting this thing on my back still. Okay, we got leverage on it. Drop it on my back right there. Okay, need a better mesh. All right, so again, we tell the mesh guy I'm going to set that thing at 3 yards. All right, we tell the guy who's getting the mesh set for him. All right, I'm aiming at the heels of the defensive lineman. I'm going to build, and then I'm going to scrape paint right off the guy who's set for me and stay on the run. Okay, feel like that's the best way to teach it, so you naturally have a stair step to get that defender off of you and to run him into the guy who's setting the mesh for you. Okay, but here's a look at the quarterback saying no across the board and just scrambling. Okay, always good thought to remember to tell the quarterback after he gets the 2 hitches, take off. Okay, take off. All right, okay, here we go. Okay, here's our boundary mesh now. All right, Yeah, pull this up here. Okay, I think we got this clip from the Super Bowl. Okay, so on the last one, okay, with our field mesh, how do we run that? Okay, always end up in a 3-by-1 formation to the field. Okay, and the single receiver is going to be the one, okay, who's coming on the mesh, the guy we tag. Okay, here on this one now, our boundary one. Okay, we're obviously going to end up in a 2-by-2 formation. Okay, however we end up getting to that. Okay, if I am the tagged receiver, okay, I'm running the shallow route. Okay, same thing. Aim at the heel of the defensive lineman, build the 2. Okay, stair step coming across. Okay, staying on the run. Okay, all right. On the front side of the play. Okay, number 2 to the front side. All right, same thing. He's one setting it. Get to 3. All right, and I'm sitting in the opposite tackle box. All right, number 1 on the front side. I'm going to run an OTB. Okay, 8 to 10 yards, sitting over the ball. Okay, and the tailback now has a free release rail route. Win up the numbers. Okay, we tell them if he sees his man playing over the top of all this, or same protection. Okay, we're just setting it to the field now. If a backer comes to his side, we tell him chin to shoulder, and he's getting the football right now. Okay, if I'm removed. Okay, number 2. Okay, excuse me, number 1. Okay, over here we just tag him on a stop route, and we're only going to work that if we love the matchup to the field. Okay, a lot of times, fellas, people who run this play, okay, they'll tag this guy on a deep in cut, okay, and make him the 5th read in the progression. All right, and again, it's a sweep concept, just like I read the book. Okay, 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, okay, and then in the NFL, they tag this guy as a 5 with the deep in cut. We're not advanced enough to make that throw. We don't want our quarterback throwing that late, okay, across the middle. If you did tag this route, okay, we tell him 18 to 22 yards. We're going to tell him get to your 5th outside step versus free access, and I'm going to speed cut in, and this should hit, okay, on the hash with the quarterback. Okay, same drop, 3-step. I'm reading this picture right here. I should hitch, okay, to put it on my 3rd and 4th read. Okay, hitch one more time, potentially put in the opposite tackle box, and then I'm running. Okay, for us, again, this is just an alert versus a matchup that we love on the stop route. All right, so let's take a look at these. Okay, just going through the progression. I'm taking a 3-step drop. Okay, these wideouts. Okay, these wideouts know that they're only going to get the ball in zone coverage. So initially, their job is to get a rub. I don't care if it gets me off my track. This wideout's not doing a great job. He's got to get a rub and then get to my route. Okay, this guy's got to get a rub, then get to my route. He's winning in man. He's winning in man. So again, we got our man beaters, and we tell our quarterback, if it's man-to-man, I should be able to put it on him or him, okay? If it's a zone defense and they took those 2 away, now we have our built-in triangle read, all right, off the defense to beat the zone coverage. All right? So here's a look at it. Wideout does not do a good job. His job's to get a rub in man-to-man, okay? That's why we'll also bring motion on both of these plays to establish if it's zone or man from the defense, okay? So man-to-man here, wideout doesn't get a rub. The running back does a great job of cleaning hands, okay, at the junction point, okay? Wiping those hands off, okay? Being physical right there, wiping off and winning, okay? 3-step drop, we're letting that thing go, okay? And again, on this one, we would set our protection to the field. So if one comes to the back, all right, we're able to throw hot. Okay, good look at it there. Obviously, okay, 3rd down, you got your little scat back, get him in the game, okay? 3rd and 4 to 6, okay? Whenever we know the defense is going to be in man-to-man, okay? Also something that we used in the red zone this year, we used down there on the 5-yard line. I think anything closer than that, A lot of times there isn't a lot of enough space to truly go through the progression. So 5-yard line, okay, 10-5, another good red zone call as well.
Coach, what's the depth of that route from the number 1 receiver to the boundary? The route that's sitting over the middle of the field?
The OTB is going to be 8 to 10 yards. Okay, so he wants to make sure, again, he's looking to set a rub, and he's going to sit right over the ball and get big, okay? We don't tell him, hey, work to get open in man, because, again, if it's man-to-man, the ball should be going back to my guy on the shallow, okay? If it's zone and they take those away, quarterback continues to sweep through the progression, all right? Here's a look at the Chiefs running it, okay? So here they are motioning down, okay? Still getting the 2-by-2, okay? But he's taking a look at it. Looks like, okay? And what you'll find on this, fellas, okay? Man or zone, my first read is always going to be that back, okay? And there are going to be times where the defense just drops them. A lot of times the defense, if they're bringing boundary pressure, they'll forget to peel with your back. That's always going to be my first read. 3-step drop. If I can put it on him, put it on him. Or if he gets a rubbing man, okay? Looks like some type of man here. Defense trying to pass it off, single high. Obviously, nobody takes the back, okay? And this is in the NFL, fellas. In high school, should work even more than that. All right, good look at it there. Okay, here's a look at Ohio State running it again. This is staple in Chip Kelly offense. Ryan Day there ran a lot of this in his first and second year at Ohio State. All right. So taking a look at it again. Again, they send motion. We clearly have man-to-man right here. All right. Up front. All right. Our offensive line. All right. We give a 5 call here. All right. So they're blocking the 5 down defenders on the defense. Okay. This guy's got the back man-to-man. The wideouts know it. You can see 15 here doing a great job getting a rub. All right. He's trying to fight over the top of it. So the back's going to go chin to shoulder. All right. Put the ball on him right now. Okay. And again, in the way we would protect this, we'd be protected. Okay. They use a full slide pro right here and throw off the edge guy. We'd go 5-5-5 and block all 5, the 4 down linemen and the backer that walked up in the A gap. Okay, there's a good look at it though. And again, I'm not saying every time it's going to be this easy, fellas, but you can see here in major college football in the NFL, them just dropping your back, releasing that on his rail route to the boundary. Got exactly what we want. And again, this is what this play's designed to be. Okay, a man-to-man defense where you got a backer trying to chase your running back, fight through 2 picks right there. Okay, next look at it here. Here's us in a scrimmage situation. Okay. I think we had a 3rd and 8 here. Okay. Probably about the cutoff to run this play. Okay. 3rd and 8, a lot of times, if the defense is lifting, if you throw a guy open, he's going to have the opportunity to run for it. Okay. So right here, okay, looks like quarters defense from our defense. We got the stand-up end. He's responsible for the back. He's really carrying number 1, so he doesn't get out over the top of him. There's nobody in the flat. Drop it on my back right now. We got a first down. Okay, good job making the first man miss. Okay, and really, really simple for the quarterback. Just sweep all the way through. Okay, let's try to get to some other reads here and just putting it on the back. Okay, I think we got one more here. Example of him putting it on the back. Okay, here we short motion down. Okay, our Z receiver. So you can tag who you want on it as far as who you want on the shallow route, who we're setting the mesh for. Typically want a guy where if we throw it to him, he can get the first down on 3rd down. Okay, here's a look at it where that backer plays it well. All right, we don't get a good rub by our boundary receiver right here. Okay, our quarterback still puts it on the back on his back shoulder. Okay, I would tell the quarterback he's got him covered right there, and I'm coming down to number 2 in the progression to number 6 running across the field right there. Okay. All right. And again, if this backer is flying all the way over the top, that's when I want to think back shoulder. but he plays it pretty well here. I'd be down to my shallow runner right here. Okay, another look at the Eagles running it here. All right, so if you are running it with the tight end, all right, we're not a big tight end team. We get into 12, but primarily 11 personnel team. But if you are tagging your tight end on the under, what we told him on this is because he's closer, okay? The guy run the shallow is typically going to be at a hash split, all right? That's what time's up as far as going back 1 to 2, okay? Here he is, he's tighter. He's going to take a jab step so it still times up, okay? And we can get the mesh at the right time, okay? So you see how he's over there a little bit too soon. Quarterback still working the rail with the back, all right? Tight end's getting over there a little bit too quickly. All right. And again, good look at the coverage lefts. I'm going to put that on the back shoulder or drive it on him right away so he has an opportunity to make a move and make a man miss when he catches the football. All right, another look at Ohio State here. Okay, got a lot of clips of these fellas. Same thing, bringing the Y in motion, establishing, is it man to zone? Also, okay, disguise and creating complexity for the defense. All right, are they going to spin a safety down and the other safety gets deep? Are they going to follow them all the way across? Okay, here's a good look at them establishing man. You can see the wide out doing another good job of getting the rub. We know we got him beat. We're going to throw this ball up over the top. Okay, 3-step, let it go. Okay, really good look at it. Okay, another look at it here. Here's actually 3rd and 13. We don't run it this way, all right, but obviously you guys could, okay? So they're running it to the field here, all right? If we are going to run it to the field, a lot of times instead of the running back on a rail, we'll just put him on an arrow because the timing of it works up better with the progression than waiting him to run a rail to the field. Obviously, they got a Dory Jackson right here coming out of the backfield, okay? And here is also a way to run it, fellas. We talked about running out a 5-man pro. If you're facing a team that brings a lot of 6-man pressures, you could run it out of 20 personnel. And now the only thing that you don't have in your progression is the stop route out here that we don't really work anyways. So again, you got your rail route, you got your, okay, setting over opposite tackle, OTB, and now you got him on the shallow, all right? So there is ways to run it with 6-man pro if you prefer to do that, okay, out of a 2-back 21 personnel set, okay? But again, just getting it to their top guy in space, all right, motioning their wide receiver into the backfield and using him as their rail runner. Okay, really good look at it. He does the rest, obviously. So if you got a guy like that, he's probably the one you want on the rail. Okay, here's us running it, okay? Finally got some clips of the Lumberjacks here, okay? So this is us plays UTEP. As you can see, 3rd and 6, look, okay? We're going to line in, pre-align 3-by-1, okay? Motion our H receiver across the formation, okay? We're establishing, is this man or zone? Okay, we got the dual drag protection on, okay? So if those 2 inside backers come, we're fine, okay? Bring them in motion, okay? Obviously, more of a zone look, all right? Anytime we show motion, quarterback should have his eyes on the defense, establishing is this man or zone. Obviously, zone here, he's still going to progress through it, okay? So taking a look at it. It's like they're running a 3-deep safety, that pre-aligned Tampa 2 defense, okay? Dropping 8, all right? Dropping 8, pre-aligned Tampa 2, okay? So they should be able to take this away. All right, so their flat player, okay, is their corner. He takes away the rail. Sorry about that. Here we go. Flat player takes away the rail. Okay, so we're no to the rail. Okay, the next backer inside, okay, we're putting him in conflict. And we got to read his shoulders. If he had square shoulders and he was jumping, okay, the shallow, then we would have the OTB wide open for a first down. Instead, he opens his shoulders, okay, and carries the OTB. So now we have our shallow. We just have to give it to him in a place where he can catch and knife the defense to get the first down. Because, again, this is 3rd and 6. Okay, catch, knife the D. He's able to get it, okay? One thing that we did and we introduced to our program is we noticed on 3rd down, a lot of times our guys wouldn't get the first down because they didn't know where the 3rd down marker was. All right. So now what we do anytime on 3rd and 4th down, we just yell chains, 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 keeps your whole sideline engaged as well. And everyone on the field has to look and identify how many yards do I need. Okay. So in a situation like this right here, when he catches that football, he knows I must knife the D and get, okay, to the 26-yard line to get the first down. Okay, so that's something we introduced and actually got that from Chad Morris when he was at Clemson back in the day. And I know when I worked at ASU with Mike Norvell, and I know they use that as well. So chains, money down, whatever it is, your guys have a lot more better opportunity to get the first down if they know where it is. All right. All right, so there's a look at hitting the number 2 in the progression there. Okay, here's an interesting way USC ran it. Again, this was when Clay Helton was calling it there. This was one of their favorite plays on 3rd down. Here, instead of having the stop route out here, they're just going to use this guy, again, creating complexity for the defense in over-the-top motion, all right, trying to get spin rotation, okay, from the defense. Okay, see how they react. Okay, they got to communicate, spin the safety down. All right, get the safety in the boundary out. All right, exact same read and progression for the quarterback. So he says no to the rail. Okay, yes to the under. Okay, so again, just taking the 3-step drop. No, yes. All right, getting the ball out of his hand. Okay, no, yes, put it on him. All right, first down. All right, here's a look at it NFL-wise. So, again, the NFL, you're going to get more condensed splits. 3rd and 3 here, same thing. They just tagged him on the under, so this guy would have your stop route, okay? And it's just built-in rules, okay? Going to end up in a 2-by-2 set. No to the rail, okay? No to my under, okay? I guess he did put it on the under there, okay? I would say no to the under there, and I'd put it right here on my OTB, okay? Not, this guy would really have to burst and sit, and I put it on his inside ear for the first down. Okay, does a good job of throwing him open, throwing it to him where he can catch and run. Okay, another look at the Chiefs running it. As you can see, they're 3rd and 4. Okay, 3rd and 4, bringing Kelsey back in. All right, getting to their 2-by-2 set. Okay, and you can see there Tyreek Hill does a good job of what we're talking about. He's got press man-to-man. He's going to go in the heels of the defense, stair-step him, run his guy into Travis Kelsey, and then stay on the run. Okay, so no on the rail. Wideout's got to do a better job of getting a rub here, but we don't get it. No on the rail. Okay, come to number 2. All right, throw it to him where he can catch and run. Right, really good job as far as just an example of speed and space, fellas.
Is that shallow though? Is that supposed to come over the top though? I know Tyreek Hill.
No, they got to do a better job with their mesh there.
But he went under. Is he supposed to go under? Who's setting it, I guess?
So again, the boundary guy's setting it, and whoever's setting it's going to end up sitting in the opposite tackle box. Okay, so he's setting it, sitting in the opposite tackle box. All right, so he's aiming for 3 yards, and then Tyreek here, heels of the defense. All right, stair step your guy. All right, scrape paint and stay on the run. Okay, so whoever we tag, all right, so we tag this H shallow, right, or H mesh, whatever you want to call it. That means that's the guy that's coming underneath.
Okay.
Okay, another look at it here. Okay, I think this is another look in the Super Bowl. Again, moving to it in different ways, fellas. At the end of the day, you're creating a 2x2 structure. Okay, same thing. You can see the mesh here. They actually slap hands on it. So again, New England does a good job of taking away the flat. All right. What we tell the running back here is mandatory outside release. So I don't want to go inside this guy and bring his eyes to the shallow. So if I don't get the football, just keep running. And I got to outside release him on the rail. Okay. So he's got to do a better job there. You can see he almost runs that defender and turns his eyes inside into the guy who's coming on the mesh. Okay. But you can see pretty good mesh, slapping hands, drop it to him, catch and knife the D. Okay. Okay, looks like this was one of their favorite calls in the Super Bowl. Okay, you'll see teams in the NFL do this. Okay, so you're going to line up in empty, all right, and then motion your back. Okay, a couple of reasons for doing that. Okay, one, you may have the ability to steal two looks. So let's say you haven't called a play in empty yet. A lot of times defenses are going to have one or two calls that week in empty. So I'm going to line up in empty, see what the defense is playing, and then motion the running back to a normal formation, okay? Determine man or zone, or teams will have their empty check, okay? They'll get in their empty check, whatever we know it is, motion the running back, and then they're still in their empty check, okay? So different ways to do that, okay? Here they are running out of a 12 personnel look, okay? Exact same play. Again, don't do a great job rubbing for the rail. You can see them, okay? The tight end setting the mesh kind of has to peel back for him. We'd like to see this wide out get closer to him. So we use the term scrape and paint right off his shoulder so that we can ensure that this guy can't get through, okay? Not a great mesh right there, all right, but gets enough of them, okay, and the wide out's able to break a tackle in space. Okay, here's another look at it from USC running it. Okay, so same thing here. They are actually in the same formation that Philadelphia was just in, okay? But now they're bringing their outside receiver into the slot. Again, he's going to be the one running the shallow. We want him near the hash. That's how it times up. No to the back. Yes to the shallow, and on this one, the OTB messed up, right? He's got to get deeper, all right? Be able to put that mic in a bind, okay? See if we got any OTB throws here. Okay, another look at it. Trying to get a Dory Jackson the ball, okay? Running it to the field again. Okay, put it on my shallow. All right, this is another look at the shallow. Okay, so again, taking away the flat. All right, on this one now, okay, this guy takes away the flat, so my eyes are going to go to the next backer inside. Okay, so takes away, okay, the rail, my eyes go to the next backer inside. He has square shoulders. All right, so I should hitch up one more time right here and put it on my OTB. Everybody see that? Okay, we're putting him in conflict. Square shoulders, I go here. We saw the clip, all right, of the NAU running it. He had open shoulders. I'm going to put it on my shallow, allow him to catch and run. Okay, so wrong read from the quarterback there. Fortunately, we're able to make a guy miss in space. Okay, so again, you guys can see the OTB opening up right there. All right, another look at the shallow. I'll try to get to some different ways to display it here. So here was Ohio State. So obviously this was a play that they ran in almost every game throughout the year. So they want a different way to disguise it. So now here they are running out of 3x1. And I believe this guy's just going to clear it out for him. Okay. So still same read and progression. You can see 83 stair stepping it. Okay. No the rail. Okay. Here's a good example of it. Okay. Square shoulders, takes away my under, eyes go, okay, to my OTB, and then he should just be sitting at 8 to 10 yards right there. Okay. But good look at a situation in zone where we would want to work the OTB, fellas. All right, so again, another look at it here. Okay, 3 tight ends on the field. All right, no to the rail. Okay, square shoulders on my under. Where am I going? OTB, right there, 8 to 10 yards. Okay. Again, 1, 2, 3. Put it on them. Throw them open. Throw them where it needs to turn. Okay. This point, all right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and just go to any questions anybody might have. Okay.